In that era. I remember I was a youngster when my parents would play this kind of music, and you didn't appreciate it back then. But now you're like, wow, man,
What an honor,
what
hey?
an honor it was to have lived during that time when people sang from the heart. Let's talk about wellness travel as it's evolving on the African continent. And Africa is fast becoming one of its most compelling destinations. From sunrise yoga on the savannah to cultural experiences like Kizomba in Angola, travelers are seeking journeys that go beyond relaxation, choosing experiences rooted in nature, connection, and meaning. Across the continent, eco-lodges, retreats, and immersive escapes are redefining wellness, blending traditional knowledge, local cuisine, and mindful living. Joining us to unpack this growing trend is Julia Kleber, CEO of Kleber Group. Julia, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to The Upside. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday?
Perfect. Thank you so much. Lovely meeting you. And absolutely, it's a great pleasure to be here. And wellness is one of the rising stars as the topic in the tourism industry. So happy to be speaking to you today on that.
I am looking forward to this conversation, Julia. We are talking all things wellness travel, and it's evolving on the African continent. It's 20 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We'll have our chat with Julia right after this.
Africa, voici Abedi.
Oui, c'est moi.
Abedi est un passionné de musique dans l'âme. Il a un goût pour toutes sortes de musique et passe ses journées à écouter Channel Africa.
J'aime beaucoup la musique africaine.
Ok. Devinez quoi? Channel Africa veut aider Abedi et les mélomanes du monde entier à découvrir encore plus de musique incroyable. C'est pourquoi Channel Africa appelle les artistes africains à soumettre leur musique. Chers artistes, n'oubliez pas de nous fournir toutes vos informations pertinentes à l'email adresse musique@channelafrica.co.za. Les soumissions sont votre chance d'être entendues, mais elles ne garantissent pas une playlist. Toutes les soumissions seront soigneusement examinées pour voir si elles répondent aux exigences de notre station. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Ritmos e cultura. Com Jacob Tivani.
Hoje vamos celebrar um momento muito especial na música, em particular o universo do jazz moçambicano.
Ladies and gentlemen, senhoras e senhores,
Temos o privilégio de receber um dos maiores nomes do jazz de África, moçambicano e, por que não, o mundo lusófono, Moreira Xunguiça, para falarmos sobre o lançamento da edição especial em vinil do seu icônico álbum
The Journey, The Moreira Project, Volume 1.
A música é que me escolheu e não foi eu que escolhi a música. O saxofone é que me escolheu, não fui eu que escolhi o saxofone. Eu sinto-me honrado, sinto-me de alguma maneira satisfeito e, mais importante, sinto-me feliz porque usamos o álbum The Journey como um influenciador, catalisador. E aí eu sinto-me honrado.
Ritmos e cultura com Jacob Tivani. Todos os domingos das 20 às 21 horas.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the Upside.
22 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time, we are talking about the growing trend that is wellness travel, especially on the African continent. On the line, we are joined by Julia Kleber, CEO of Kleber Group, to tell us a bit more about this trend. Julia, in layman's terms, what is wellness traveling and wellness travel?
Well, it has evolved a little bit in the past year, but it is all about the well-being. First of all, of course, the wellness aspect. Many hotels already offer the spas and spa concepts, yoga in the morning, as you mentioned earlier. But also the wellness travel is evolving into a well-being, and the next step is the longevity, what everybody is currently talking about, where it goes more even into the medical approach of it. How is really longevity evolving in one's life, and this has become a major component in the travel industry, that people no longer travel only for sun and beach or to have a nature experience, but how can I really tap into doing something good for myself, connecting with my body, connecting with nature, with culture, with local ingredients and everything that is related to it. And of course, this huge trend in looking into more going away from not only spa products and yoga classes, but really how it is evolving into a science-based and also, as I said, on natural ingredients. How can I be good? It's from waking up in the morning till going to sleep. How do I sleep well in a hotel? How do I sleep well in a lodge? What is my surrounding? What are the sounds? What is the nature? What is the experience? So there has been a huge development in what actually wellness, well-being and longevity travel is all about.
I think what you've just done, Julia, is really just describe what makes the African continent uniquely different, from with our traditions, in terms of how we view wellness and travel, as it were, as compared to other parts of the world, Europe's and Asia, etc. But there are still many travelers who are looking for that. I don't know, what can we call it? Like a slower, more meaningful way of experiencing a trip. And one that is authentically and uniquely African. Perhaps let's elaborate on slow travel, because that's also become part of this wellness travel movement that we're seeing.
Absolutely. I mean, as especially in Europe, the US, and other parts of the world, life has become very hectic, and people want to get away from the office job in a hectic environment and really go to the slow travel to experience the unique places and to take it all in. So, as mentioned before, it's not only about going to a place and being in this place, it's really living the place and having the local experience and taking the time to really indulge into what this place has to offer. And this comes, as I said, from experiencing, connecting with the local cultures that gives something back to your well-being, because it's the experience that nourishes who you are and what you have lived on your experience, until you want to experience more of the local cuisine, more of the local ingredients that spa products may again then have as well. So everything and connecting more, taking the time. And this has become a major part, especially after COVID time, to really enjoy life more and have the time to enjoy the life, to be present and to be in the place while going on their trips. And this has also been a major component on selecting where to choose, really to go for this opportunity of slow travel in the connection with oneself and taking the time to enjoy the holidays that in the end make a great part of the life.
And Julia, we are also seeing the suppliers also adapting to the change and the growing demand. We are seeing more eco lodges, more sustainable offerings. Talk to us about how these, businesses, lodges, hospitality industry are also adapting to the growing trend that we are seeing when it comes to wellness travel.
First of all, as we work a lot on positioning and destination and marketing development of entire countries. So first of all, the demand I have seen on the rise that governments, countries ask, how can I be seen more as a wellness destination, as a country that is known for it? Because as we all know, there are certain, when you first think of your mind, wellness destination. Tell me one country that you would go for if you want to have a proper wellness experience or longevity experience. There we need to be top of mind. So this demand, how can we as a country become more seen? And this, of course, looks into the product development, and as you mentioned, the lodges or the retreats that are there, hotels that have maybe their spas. But the demand also from the guest has changed. It's no longer, or put it this way, it's already a norm that you have your yoga mat in the hotel room, that you have healthy food on the breakfast table, that the ingredients are locally sourced, and that a spa is connected to the hotel, or you can have a nature work. But it has become more on a holistic approach. How can a lodge, for example, be a longevity? And this comes more in also, as I mentioned before, the science approach to it, really understanding which local ingredients are there that can be used in the spa, that can be used in the kitchen. How can we build more sustainable? And also in this well-being aspect, how should a room be placed? Looking into maybe this part of the nature, because this is something great for your eyes to wake up in the morning to. So on all those different aspects, and then the suppliers, of course, it goes not only from the products that are in the lodges or in the hotels, but really it goes into the experience that are happening while being on your trip. And it may be from also getting the cultural experiences that give you something back where your well-being is enforced by it. So really it goes on creating this whole value chain and looking into everything that, for example, a lodge has, to go more into it. And yes, people are much more conscious to say, I want to go on a trip that really gives me this, I want to come back and feel well about it. And get this heartful feeling on a complete basis of my body feels good, my soul feels good, my eyes feel good, my food has felt good. So everything that comes along the way and crafting those unique experience, and also for them, how can we position more as being? How do I get my clientele to understand what I'm all about? And it is, as I said, not just to say we also have a spa on ground where you can have a massage treatment, but it's really also explaining, and the longevity goes much more into scientifically based which ingredients are good in all aspects, as I said, from the spa product to the kitchen to what kind of materials are used in the build. So we see a very rising trend in all of that around the globe, and especially in Africa, as there is the huge potential. Nature is there, it has everything to offer, so it's really just tapping into it and using all the potential that is there, which is still mainly very little communicated and explored, but can be a great asset into the future.
Okay. Julia, we've got to let you go, but before we do, I have to squeeze this question in. 10 seconds, just one standout region or country here in Africa that you feel is emerging as a standout wellness destination right now. Just one.
South Africa, currently. Definitely. And the other ones still need the products to be built, but it is. Everybody goes for the trend. Yes.
And the entire studio just agreed with you. Julia, thank you very much for the time. I think this was incredibly exciting, just you sharing your knowledge on what is happening within travel and wellness and just that collective space. There's nothing that showcases Africa quite like our travel experiences. Thank you very much for the time this afternoon. Julia Kleber joining us in her capacity as CEO at Kleber Group. It is 1:30. In fact, 1:31. Figilele Ngwati standing by with the latest sports.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
And we kick off with football news. Bafana Bafana head coach Hugo Broos